Our fighters are pumping themselves up and are raring to go. Who's going to come out on top in this fight?
Round one. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Checks with the projectile. We're still in the early going, and it's really anyone's fight. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Low heavy. Knockdown. Neither fighter wants to get stuck in the corner as they continue to duke it out mid-stage. Uses the drive rush here to steal their turn. And a super activation, looking to score some juicy damage. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important. Okay, they trade hits. Next hit will end the round. Snipes them out the air. Player one picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Checks them with the projectile. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Blocks the low heavy. Headbutt. Who will gain control of the match in the early going? Checks them with the boom. They gotta be careful here because a full drive gauge can erase what life they have left in a flash. Both fighters will have to decide whether they want to go with an all-out offense powered by their drive or play it safe and conservative. Sonic boom. You've gotta be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Looks like they want to put a new spin on things. Springs forward with the drive rush. Drive rush to keep it going. Headbutt. Shuts that down with a parry. Sobat to pin him down. That's gonna leave him rattled. Player one is on the brink of disaster. This may turn into a big chance. Their ring burns out. Both sides getting ready. Player one can't use any drive moves. Gotta play it safe. Oh my God, what's gonna happen? Both of them back off. They drops him hard. Vents it on the fireball. Player one was an absolute beast in that match. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. Checks him with the boom. Pokes with a medium kick. Shoots off a fireball up close. On dangerous turf. Easy to get tagged at this range. What's the play here? Player one has the life lead. They've got a small life lead, but it's not over. Starts with a jump in. Parries the projectile. Nails the anti-air. Their life is looking critical, and they can't rely too much parries to jump in to shut it down. Life lead opens up. Knockdown. Gets him. Player one takes a round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Fireball from very long range. What's next here? Sonic boom. Player one had an impressive round while managing their drive gauge. They'll want to carry that momentum into the next round. Can they stop this life lead from getting bigger? Time to sit on the lead. The drive impact is denied. Somersault kick. Knockdown and fireball into the corner. They're trying to force the opponent into making a mistake. Good distance for a shot. Looking for a chance. Barely blocks the jump in. Connects with medium kick. Heavy punch sends him flying. Player two drops him from the air. Player two is barely hanging in. Just goes for it at this range. Crowns him from above. Gladiator! Player two, screw pile driver. You need guts to pull that off. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Boom! The last round. It's now or never. Sonic boom. Looks like they want to put a new spin on things with that fireball. Back. Perfect execution with the anti-air. Player two needs to take advantage of this gauge disparity. What separates the good from the great in this game is smart gauge management. Perfect input. Execution is on point. Solid anti-air. Let's loose a boom. What are they gonna do? Both avoiding the wall like a plague. Catches them out. Uses their drive gauge. Boom! Neither fighter is showing any, and eats it. Medium kick into clutch anti-air. Fireball pressure, trying to wear down the opponent. Perfect, boom. No way. No signs of running up from out of the corner. A real impact counter. Oh, that's so sick. Player one can't let this simmer. They gotta start cooking. Will this be enough to kill?
No remorse!
Oh, they got him! Player two clinches the win! But that could have been anyone's game. No way we could have called that. Picks up the counter. This is going to be huge. Who will gain control of the match in the early going? Both fighters want to establish themselves early on. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Player two has the light lead. Trips him up. The pace is slowed considerably. Who will make the first move? Taking stock. Big low reaching heavy. Sees it coming and blocks it out. Player one is going to have a hard time managing their drive. This is the perfect range to reach out and tag them with something. Fireball from very long range. What's next here? There's space to make something happen here, and neither fighter looks willing to back down. Heavy punch sends them flying. Somersault kick stops them cold. Who will capitalize on an opening first? Headbutt. Checks him with the boom. Sonic boom. Only 20 in there. Player one picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Good somersault kick. Everything up until now, and everything from here on out, is so vital. Goes to the overdrive. Looking for a chance. What'll happen here? Checks him with the boom. Looks like they both want to stay out of the corner. Going in? Player one has the life lead. Can they use it? There's been some back and forth, but no one has dominated the fight. Perfect boom. Gotta be careful not to whiff at this range. Player two is barely hanging in there, but can still mount a comeback using their drive. Both sides getting ready. Adds a bit of OD spice there. They are absolutely wailing on each other in the middle of the stage. Springs forward with the drive rush. Life lead is there, but still willing to risk it for the overdrive. Experiencing burnout. Quick medium poke. Amazing. Player one closes it out. Gotta hand it to both of our fighters. They put on a real clinic for us. It's not over yet. Let's believe it's time for that run back. Somersault kick. Goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. You know their fireball game is solid because they're only throwing it when the opponent can't jump them. On dangerous turf. Easy to get tagged at this range. Both fighters are sitting on a full drive gauge. This might be prime time to let it rip. What's the play here? Gets the jump in. Takes a trip. Player two can't afford to get hit again, but still has a chance to take the round if they can find openings to use their drive. The pressure is so intense here. Goes for the super arm? At this range, many attacks KO. Player one picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Gets the jump in. You can open up chances to do big damage by baiting something out, getting that opening, and then jumping in. How will they manage their drive gauges? Sonic boom! Looks like they want to put a new spin on things with that fireball. Going in? Experiencing burnout. Player 2 has an empty drive gauge. This is a very precarious situation. Out of drive gauge. Now's the time. Looking for a chance. Perfect move. Reads the jump in perfectly. Headbutt. Player 2 leans on the flash kick to get them out of a jam. Any mistake here is gonna be fatal. What's it gonna be? Somersault kick to take them head on. The projectile hits. Fantastic positioning on show during that round. Player 1 was an absolute beast in that match. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Sonic Boom. Shoots off a fireball up close. Fireballs are risky, but if the opponent doesn't jump, they're one of the best ground game tools. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Player 1 in that dangerous burnout state. We have one player in burnout state, which means they'll have to continue to fight temporarily without using any drive-reliant moves. Player 1 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. They need to hold out. Recovers from burnout. Goes for the drive rush there. Life lead opens up. Takes a trip low heavy for the win. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Blocks the low heavy. Reads them. Player 1 chases them. Somersault kick stops them cold. Scrapping it out up close. Checks him with the boom. Blocks it. Rolls out the Soba. Overdrive art. Doing some quick planning. Good somersault kick. Springs forward with the drive rush. Sonic Boom. Drive rush to keep it going. They are absolutely wailing on each other in the middle of this. Nice read. Denies them with a somersault. Okay, here we go. Dangerous range here. Noticeable life. Just goes for it at this range. Fades out the low kick. Player 2, they're going for the super art. Excellent read. Player 2 is in a very good spot now. Denies the jump in attempt. Here's the final round. The real fight starts now. Let's loose a boom. Final round. Who will the fighting game gods favor? The lows block. Both fighters drop them. Good judgment there. Player 2 is working with a better gauge. What can they do with it? Heavy punch sends them flying. Nets the counter. Leads on the flash kick to get them out of a jam. Player 1 is on the brink of this drive rush. Closes the distance. Player 1 is looking at a grim situation with burnout. What are they gonna do? Let's loose a boom. Jump knocked them out of the air. Oh, here we go. Boom! Nice fireball. Getting it all on the drive rush. Punish counter sets the table. Player 2, that combo finishes it. Gotta hand it to both of our fighters. They put on a real clinic for us. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that rundown. Sonic Boom. Tries to bait out a reaction to a fireball. Looks like they want to re-establish their game plan with fireballs. Not much damage dealt so far, but they may be looking for an opening to run with. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Throws him down. All right. On dangerous turf. Easy to get tagged at this range. Player 2 is just about out of drive after that. The drive gauge is completely empty, meaning their ability to block is also weaker. Oh, can they survive this badly timed burnout? Trying to read each other here? Drive rush. Gets in their face. Recovers from burnout. Sticks the combo. Player 1 is gonna have to wait for that drive gauge. Can they stick it out? Knockdown and... Player 2 needs to use the threat of the corner here. Gets the counter hit for the win. They're so good at whiff punishing. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Are we going to see some fireworks here? The somersault kick stops them cold. Player 2 has the life lead. Can they use it? There's been some back and forth, but no one has dominated the fight. Player 2 is going to have a hard time managing their drive now. You've got to be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Checks him with the boom. Going in? Player 2 needs to use the threat of the corner here. Big chance here to do some damage if they can keep the corner pressure up. Super arts on deck for both fighters. How they approach this somersault kick stops them cold. Player 2 can't use any drive moves without burning out. Springs forward with the drive rush. They're in range. We got it set up with the jump in. There's the soup with the lariat. Player 1, no! This will break him. You need guts to pull that off. Player 2 faced the giant and walks away unscathed. What a win! The first round begins. No time to save that stuff for nationals. It's time to go all in. Goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. Player 1 has the life lead. Can they exploit this advantage? What are these fighters thinking now? Both sides looking for an opening. A battle of egos on display here as neither fighter wants to give up any ground. Parries the projectile. Now what's the follow-up? Saw the projectile easily. They'll want to be careful of positioning here while on the lookout for more projectiles. Big gap between the two fighters. Will this super art connect? Takes a trip. Plenty of space between the fighters. What will be their approach? Player 2 is working with a less than ideal drive gauge. They'll need to be very careful here. Caught in the crosshair. Double lariat and now? Sonic boom! Shoots off a fireball up close. Jackson gets the counter hit for the win! They're so good at whip punching. Player 2 hits up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Good job blocking the jump-in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Blocking a jump-in attack means you're at a disadvantage, so they should be looking to anti-air instead. Perfect input on the Sonic Boom. Player 1 has the life advantage. There's been some back and forth, but no one has dominated the fight. Their spacing is so on point right now, but who's gonna blink first? Spending that drive gauge. Good somersault kick. Fireball into the corner. They're trying to hold springs forward with the drive rush. Sonic boom. Looks like they both want to stay out of the corner. Player 1 is dominating this match. One chance here and finishes it with the anti-air. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Checks him with the boom. Throws a projectile to zone the opponent. Perfect input on the Sonic Boom. Player 1 didn't rely too much on drive in that last round, but they may be looking to mix things up here. Both fighters have a full super meter on deck. The winner will be the one who manages it best. This is gonna hurt. Quick breather. Dangerous range here. Nice double lariat. There's a burnout. Let's loose a boom. Both are ready to pull the trigger on their super art. This is where smart meter management is going to come into play. Our fighters will need to tread carefully. Perfect boom with finesse. Ooh, what a smart throw. What's next? They're in range. We gonna see a jump in drive rush. Boom! Somersault kick to take them head on. Perfect input. Execution is on point. Let's loose a boom. These fighters are swinging for control of the match. Who's gonna take it? Leads on the flash kick to get them out of a jam. Dangerous range here. Blocks the low kick. Rushes in. Noticeable life lead is a comeback scope. Excellent block. This closes it out. Player 1 gets the win in a convincing fashion.
Round one.
It's not over yet. Let's believe it's time for that run back. Checks him with the boom. Denies the jump in. Consistent anti-air is huge because shutting down the air game will let you dictate the pace of the match much easier. The fighters are at a standstill. What's going on through their heads? The fighters take a step back to reassess. Time for a new game plan. Player one with the life lead. Knockdown. Tries to keep the pressure on the opponent by zoning with Fireball. Projectile to try and change the situation. Player two can't afford to get hit again, but still has a chance to take the round if they can find openings to use their drive. Blocks the low heavy. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Intercepts. Slick anti-air finish. Player one picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Looks like they want to establish a rhythm with their ground game and fireballs. Player one kept their drive gauge topped off through that round and still took the win. Guess they didn't need it. Rolls out the Sobot. Goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. Fireballs are risky, but if the opponent doesn't jump, they're one of the best ground game tools. Checks them with the boom. Player one can't let their drive gauge run out. They need to find a way to reset the situation. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. The engagement here will have a huge effect on the rest of the match. Player one has a slight life lead. There's been some back and forth, but no one has dominated the fight. Halfway through this round. Expect both fighters to crank it up a bit now that we're halfway through. Springs forward with the drive rush. Closes the distance. Player one will need to play it conservative until their drive refreshes. Gotta be careful not to whiff at this range. Are we gonna see a good heads-up decision opting for the drive impact? Flatlines him. Player one brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.